I'm going to show you my AoE build, and it is more fine-tuned for the newest dungeons, so MTOS and Master Demon Web Pits, but you can certainly switch some stuff out to fit the AoE that you're doing. Obviously, not going to be useful in Trials because Arbiters are fully SD in there. Alright, so let's go through it. This is a helmet from Master Demon Web Pits, and I have it because it's just constant 5% extra damage in Underdark. Nice to have. This is a dragon set for crit strike and critical severity. I just have it for stat. You can certainly put the Dark Maiden or the upgraded version, which I don't have, but you can certainly put one of these for more damage to enemies that aren't facing you or enemies that are. The problem for me with that in AoE is I feel like you don't really know where the enemies are facing, and if you start like moving around too much, they might be dead. Well, you try to be finicky about that, and we're already finicky with our javelin, so I prefer to not give AoE too much thought because it's not as important. So I personally went for the stat option, but that's certainly an option for people who want it. This arms, I don't have the 7.5% more damage arms, so that is certainly an option in case of this, but since I don't have it, I just put it for the extra 3% crit strike. Always nice to make sure you have as many stats as possible if you don't have anything else to put in there, but I'd probably put the 7.5% if I can fit it in. These two are the newest set from Master Demon Web Pits. It's really good because you just have a constant 3% more damage. And the second part with the start of combat, well, I guess third, you get more crit strike and crit sev. In AoE, the combat is usually not very long, so it's not that useful. But it adds a few percentages, especially if you're struggling in an AoE. So it's, extra percentages, nice to have. This one I do really like because it's just free combat advantage with a lot of enemies, and usually in AoE you do have quite a few enemies. Not 10, but you do usually have above 2. So it's just extra. I also don't think combat advantage is that important in AoE because, again, the positioning for Searing Javelin, you're trying to get mobs in a line, so a lot of the times you won't have combat advantage, a lot of times you're not going to be behind the mob, so it's nice to have, just to make sure that if I do happen to be in a combat advantage, I can get extra damage, but I do not think, for me at least, that it's as important to put in combat advantage for AoE. This is a personal favorite of mine, having demo set for AoE. I've played a lot with what to have in AoE. Before I really made an AoE build, I just used Music Box, where I do it daily and use that to buff up my encounters. I'd use Mythlog for Arbiters. I used this, which is what it does, is we get stacks of more damage. And for the uptime for 5 stacks is really, really good. So most of the time in AoE, I'd have these 5 stacks where 5% more damage, so it's great. I really like demo, and I would really, really recommend this for an AoE set. It really improved my damage using this. This without a kit, because I'm lazy, I've not bothered. It's only AoE, it's not that big of a deal. I don't want to waste like 50k Astral Diamonds just buying a kit for this, and I'm already like pretty capped on stats, and this is without me even buffing. This is from Master Demon Web Pits. So yeah, your powers that strike 3 or more enemies deal an additional 6% damage. Usually, because it's AoE, you're gonna be striking 3 or more enemies. Sometimes because of the javelin, or people canceling the javelin because they killed the mob you were targeting. It can be, it might not happen, but I feel like if there's a big group and you do a javelin and you hit at least 3, and they all just take so much damage. So I do think this ring is worth it in the end. So that's what I have on. This is 5% more damage for encounters. And then with the set together, we have 2.5% more damage when you are 25 or closer to your target, which tends to be the case. So it just adds more damage to what I'm doing. This is variable. for example, when we go from the beginning of Master Demon Web Pits to the first boss, we don't have any drow or spiders. They're meant to be demons, at least. So I'd probably just have a CA shirt. That's not going healing. Wrong one. I'd probably have a 5% combat advantage shirt just to give myself extra stuff, because this probably wouldn't do anything. But in between, for example, second boss to third, you have a few groups of spiders, so 8% more damage as spiders is always nice. This is the Crit Strike Pants that just gives you more AP when you deal combat advantage damage. In AoE, do you deal a lot of combat advantage damage? Probably not, but this is the pants I use for ST, and I'm not gonna get specific. It's like the highest item level pants. I'm not gonna get specific pants for AoE. If there are better options, you're welcome to use it. I just put it on because that's what I have. Yeah, in case enchants and stuff, obviously this should be upgraded, but isn't. I really like using Envenomed because you have the stun of group of mobs, and it also has an explosion which damages them if they haven't died yet. For overloads, I'd go, it depends, but the main three I do, for Master Demon Web Pits or MTOS, I'd go, sorry, I have so many, actually main four, I'd say four. I have Rage of Flames to generally target stuff for more damage. I'd have Drow Slayer to kill, no, I wouldn't have Drow, well, in MTOS I guess you can use Drow Slayer. I might have 5, I'm not really counting. Spider Slayer to kill more spiders, because that's 10% more damage. Demon Slayer from the guild shop, 10% more damage. You can have the precision one. I have so many, I can't find the ones I want. There you go. 5% more crit strike accuracy. I don't think accuracy is that important for AoE, but 5% more damage for crit strike. Always nice. 5% more damage for crit strike. No, 5% more crit strike. Always nice to have more stats. In terms of companions, I have the Shadow Kai Witch. There are other good options out there. This is just personally the one I have because I really like her damage and her throw. She's considered as one of the best AoE companions at the moment. In terms of options with companions, I know a lot of people find Regis is still a good option, which a lot of older players might still have. Yeah, you might have to do more research on AoE companions. I already had a pretty good one, so I never really didn't research on it, but I can recommend the Shadow Kai Witch. I think you can buy her from the Zen store. Maybe Auction House, no idea, but definitely from the Zen store. This is companion gear just to fit the missing stats that I have, aka my ST companion gear, because I do not bother changing them. Crit strike power to fit in the stuff I'm missing. This is basically just a copy of my ST build, but I did switch out Batiri, because Batiri does boss damage. Obviously, usually you're not gonna have a boss in AoE. I mean, there is that one fire guy, big demon fire thingy, after first boss in Master Demon Web Pits. Might be considered as a boss, but personally, I just put in more stats. So all these are the same, except this for more stats. In terms of mount power, this Ferocious Predator, more stats. Vortex, I put for, to gather, group up mobs, and then what I usually do is I use Vortex, and then I can use my Lance, and it hits a huge group of them, and then I can do my AoE powers, and I find that it does a lot of damage that way. There is also Wings, but there's a few problems with that because you need to buy the Angel Wings. You also, from what I know, because I don't have them, because I don't pay for stuff here, it does like a push. So if you're spreading out mobs, that might be counterintuitive for your Javelin. So whatever you want, if you prefer that, if you can make it work, go for it. I'm a free to play, so I use a Vortex. It's also helping your teammates, so it's always nice. Also, with Wings, you can sometimes bug dungeons, and that's not fun. But yeah, that's pretty much my AoE build summarized. If you have any questions, any concerns, any suggestions, do feel free to comment down below. I'm happy to talk. I might not have the most absolute best AoE build. There might be some stuff I missed. I'm so very happy to learn new things and make just an updated version of the build if I missed something. So do let me know. I'd love to hear from you. If you want to know more Arbiter stuff, like, I don't know, how I use the powers in AoE, how I use the powers in ST, how I do Master Demon Weapons, stuff like that, Arbiter questions, I'm happy to answer anything I can. Cool. Thank you guys for watching. I'd very much appreciate that if you clicked the subscribe button. If you also have a Twitch account, I am usually live on Twitch, and I stream a lot of Neverwinter, so you are welcome to watch me and my friends fool around on Neverwinter live, and talk to you live, because I'm very, very talkative. I don't know if you noticed. Alright, I'll see you guys in another time.